Basketball season won't be around forever, so get in on all the action now with DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy sports. DraftKings is giving new players a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. Claim your free shot at $1 million in total prizes when using the code THPN during signup. Playing daily fantasy basketball is simple. Just pick your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Feel the sweat like never before. Every dunk, steal, assist means so much more with the DraftKings daily fantasy lineup. Baseball fans, you may have missed out on a season-long fantasy, so now is the time for you to get in on all the daily fantasy action where DraftKings has even more ways to make it rain. With DraftKings, payday comes every day for players. So what are you waiting for? Head to the app now. Download the DraftKings app now and use the code THPN during signup. This week, DraftKings is putting you in the action with a free shot at millions of dollars in total prizes. That's code THPN, and you can get a free shot at $1 million in total prizes only at DraftKings. Minimum $5 deposit required. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
You are now tuned in to the Windy City Benders podcast. This is WCBP.
All right, it's another edition of the WCB podcast, part of the Hockey Podcast Network. It is Jarom. It's Tanner. Tanner, what's up, bud?
Not a lot, man. Feeling good. It's kind of still getting nicer out. It was like 80s this week. That was great.
Yeah, cold and rainy, and I think it's coming back this week. So,
yeah.
Exciting time. Trade deadline will be today when this episode is uploaded. A lot of movement already.
Yeah.
And of course, typically once we hit stop recording on Wednesday, shit goes down.
Yeah, why not, right?
So, yeah, I think we should probably just get into it because I think there's a lot to talk about on the trade front and rumors and kind of see what we want, what we honestly maybe make a wish list a little bit here. In the time that we last recorded, the Hawks played 2 games.
Yes.
I wish they didn't.
I mean,
they won 1, they lost 1. They got embarrassed by 1. The first one was on Thursday. It was against Dallas. They lost 5-1, and I think that was probably the worst performance since like the first couple games of the season.
I didn't even get a chance to watch the game.
It was pretty much the quick summary. The defense didn't show up to the game.
That's what I kind of heard.
Yeah,
and
it was so bad. Lots of turnovers in front. For some reason, the Hawks defense, this happened against the game against Columbus too yesterday. They just don't like cover in front of the net. Like, they will leave guys there all day, and they're starting to make Lincoln and pay for it.
Yeah, I've seen that like happen a bunch throughout the season, and it's just an odd defensive tactic to go after somebody in the corner and behind the net and leave somebody in front. I'm not sure why they're doing that still, but
yeah, it's frustrating. I'll pull up the goal list here really quick.
I got it. I mean,
okay.
Game started out with a power play goal and like 10 minutes in. So the Rupe Hintz.
Yeah, and here's the fun fact too. Going into this game, the Dallas Stars were 1 for 15 on the power play against the Hawks.
That's always nice.
Yeah,
that's not.
So you can pretty much guess what happened this game.
Yeah, a couple power play goals, huh? I mean, Kubalik ends up scoring a good one. Hinostroza and him at Hinostroza throws it at the front of the net, and Kubalik's just like, "Yep, got it. Thanks."
Yeah, that was like perfect through a couple legs right onto Kubalik's stick. Oh man, that was beautiful. Hinostroza, I'm really starting to. I was like indifferent about that pickup. Like I'm like, I don't hate, I don't love it, but he's been looking really good on this like second stint here.
Yeah, he's a good little player. Like I've always enjoyed him. Like he's fast and like he gets those legs moving. It's fits with the team, which is nice.
It is weird seeing him wearing 28 though too.
Yeah, what did he wear? He wore 28 before, didn't he?
No, he wore 48.
Oh, okay.
48 with us, and then 13 with Florida and Arizona.
Weird. All right. I wonder if he'll go to 13 if Janmark's traded.
I don't know.
We'll
get to
see.
that in a second.
Yeah. Then they they exploded in the second with 3 goals. Jason Robertson, Miro Heiskanen on the power play, and then Blake Como. And it's a bad game if Blake Como's getting 2 goals.
Yeah, that Robertson goal was just absolutely terrible. I always say his name wrong because I just realized it. Zadorov.
Zadorov.
Why do I keep saying that?
I don't know.
Zadorov. Really careless turnover into the middle of the slot, and the Dallas just went tic-tac-toe, and Robertson was just wide open, just walks around, puts it around Lincoln. It's just like, that's like watching that. It's just so goddamn frustrating.
Yeah.
You don't deserve for me to say your name right when you do shit like that. Boom. That's what.
Yeah, man. Yeah, and then it just didn't go well for the Hawks.
I mean, that was just the story of the game. I don't know if it's got to be like, it's hard to say too, because it's like I don't want to just be like, oh my god, Lincoln, and it wasn't Lincoln's fault, but it's like it's some of those. I mean, I understand being left alone in front of the net and all that kind of stuff, but you do got to be a little bit better. I mean, you got to make those clutch saves.
Yeah, it's can't happen all the time though.
Yeah. So then they had the day off, and they went to Columbus on Saturday. And the game started off exactly how it was in Dallas. 2 goals, nobody coming in front of the net, just terrible defense. There was like 1-2. It was like the puck was in the corner. The second goal, the puck was in the corner. I forgot who it was, just threw it to the net, and Cam Atkinson's just standing there.
Yeah, Roslovic.
Yeah, Roslovic. Like, it's like you especially like a player, an elite player, like an elite goal scorer like Cam Atkinson, who is going to score majority of the time.
Yeah,
you can't just let him sit there.
He's good. He's been doing it for a while. He looks like he's 19, but he's like almost 30, I think. But yeah, he's going to put those away. But luckily, Hawks finally scored like a power play goal. It's been a minute.
And it was vintage DeBrincat too, sitting right at the circle.
Yeah, like bottom of the circle-ish area between that and the dot. Just nice little clapper on the power play.
He's starting to really turn into a little Ovechkin for us.
Honestly. He gets more assists though.
Yeah.
What's surprising to me is on the second goal, it was Ryan Carpenter's first assist of the year on Soderberg's goal.
That is weird.
Right? I feel like Carpenter's always out there doing a lot of like good things, but I guess it's just points aren't just happening for him this year.
I mean, for him mucking it up. Yeah, for him mucking it up in the corners and stuff, you'd think it like
something would score it out in front and get just put away.
Yeah. Wow, that's strange.
So, I mean, good for him.
Yeah,
he's got 4 goals and he finally gets an assist towards the end of the season.
And then congratulations to Wyatt Kalynuk on his first career goal.
Yep, that one just kind of squeezed through.
Very barely a first career goal, but it counts. They don't ask how, they ask how many and how many's won.
I was gonna say, like, I was watching the highlights, and I don't know if anybody really knew who scored the goal because it didn't look like they knew for sure it was his. So like nobody went and picked the puck up right away. I don't know if he ended up getting it or not, but it's just like, ooh, that's interesting. I don't know who's got the more interesting first goal, like him or maybe Kirby Doc, like last season when he goes off his knee against like Fleury. Like, that's a good one too.
And he becomes the 6th Hawk rookie to score his first goal this year. That's a lot. That's insane how many rookies we've had playing.
It's not too shabby.
No.
And then Dylan Strome gets a nice put away on like a 2-on-1-ish. It was like a 2-on-1, but that was like a drop back pass to, what was it, Doc?
Yeah.
Who then pushed it over to Strome. That was a nice one. And Strome's been on fire since he came back with his dad's strength.
Yeah, strength.
At least he's just been scoring. I don't think he has any assists.
Doc's already got 4 points in 8 games. I'm actually surprised he played 8 games already. It doesn't feel like that many.
Yeah, that does feel kind of weird.
But and then Patrick Laine gives us all a heart attack, scores a goal with less than a minute left to bring him 4-3, but the Hawks hold on. And that pretty much wraps up the games that we missed since last recording. I'm just pulling up the standings real quick.
2 points out of a spot right now.
Yeah, so everything just basically got canceled out from the last time we recorded. But like I said, I mean, look at all of a sudden Dallas
has a better win percentage than us at this point now.
They have 3 games in hand. They're 3 points behind us. They're on a 2-game win streak. They're 5-3-2 in their last 10. I don't know. I think
it's going to be a tough road for the next month.
I know we talked about last episode. Like we were like, is this team legitimately a playoff team? And I'm starting in just 3 days or 4 days, however long it was since we recorded. I'm kind of starting to think that they're not a legitimate playoff team. I just think that there's going to be too much coming from the other teams in the division. And especially if they're going to start making moves with Janmark and possibly Kampf and all that kind of stuff, I think it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I mean, they did make a trade to pick up some bodies. Was it Friday? No, Thursday.
Yeah, Thursday, I think.
Thursday. The Hawks traded Lucas Carlson and Lucas Wallmark to Florida for Brett Connolly, Riley Stillman, Henrik Borgstrom. His signing rights and the 7th rounder was it? I forgot to write down what year it was. Was it this year's?
I think it is this year's. I don't remember off the top of my head what it was.
I'm pulling up real quick, but that's gonna be interesting. Like it's an interesting move there.
Yeah, I mean they pulled it. It's a 2021. They pulled in Connolly, who's basically giving them cap space. We end up getting a young defenseman in Stillman, but that was kind of just a trade-off between Stillman and Lucas Carlson. I don't know if I haven't really noticed much about Stillman. I'm paid attention to
I think he's just I hear he's just a good young defenseman. Real quick while I'm on it, Brett Connolly in 21 games, 2 goals, 2 assists.
Yeah, so he's underperforming because he should be scoring more goals. He's a goal scorer.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure.
He's fucking 50.
Yeah, he's aged since winning the cup, hard. But yeah, and then we get Borgstrom, who's Bowman's favorite thing. It was first round picks who are change of scenery kind of players.
Who would be labeled as bust, I think.
I don't know about bust, but just haven't reached potential.
He technically hasn't even played yet.
He hasn't played a game this year.
But why we got his signing rights.
Yeah, because his ELC is ended. He's played in the NHL. Yeah. He had 19 points 2 years ago.
18 points in 2019 season, 50 games.
Yeah, he's got a career of 19 points in 58 games.
Okay.
So I don't know. He was a first round pick.
University of Denver.
Yeah, played at University of Denver. He's just playing in Europe right now. He's not doing too shabby in Europe at the moment though too. So we'll see if he comes over and can strike gold with us, I guess,
Stillman in 8 games this year has 0 points, is a +2 with 14 PIMs, and then he's played 5 games with Syracuse Crunch, and he has 3 assists.
Cool.
So But he's young too, isn't he?
Yeah. So I wonder if Stillman would be something that we don't have to protect if he's young enough, or he would be like available in the expansion draft.
I think I don't even know the rules anymore. I forgot like what there's like a games play requirement.
Yeah.
I know he's got 43 total NHL games.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can find something real quick.
So that's what I'm curious. I mean, he's a decent sized guy. He's 6'1". So I don't know. We'll see what happens.
So all players with no movement clause at the time of draft who decline to waive the clauses are protected. All first and second year professionals and unsigned draft choices are exempt from selection. In addition,
you would considered a second year professional then? He's only played less than 50 games.
Yeah, so I'm trying to see players with. Oh wait, no, it's a potential injury. I don't see anything about games played.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's Bowman. Like, there's a quote from Bowman that just says that Riley Stillman was a big part of the trade. He said he's a different style than most all of our young defensemen that we have. The biggest thing with him is his competitiveness, his aggressive style. You want to have players that make plays, enjoy the rush, and create offense, but you also want to have some defensemen who are stable defenders, penalty killers, and bring a little bit of that competitive spirit. And that's what Riley Stillman's bringing. So he's I guess he's looking at a good young defensive defenseman, which is great because I mean, with the guys that we have right now, it's Bowden is a little bit more offensive. I think Bowden has a better like two-way game than Boqvist. Boqvist is definitely offensive.
Mitchell's
a little bit of both, but like having somebody that's mainly defensive minded. That's going to be great.
We need that like Seabrook.
Yeah. Well, we need that net front presence.
No, I mean, it sounds like it was a thought out plan because I think it's safe to say whoever we lose in the expansion draft is going to be defenseman. So we're going to have somebody that can step up in that position because you're looking at DeHaan, Murphy, and the other dude. I can never say his name right, so I'm going to try it.
Zadorov.
Yes. Zadorov.
Way to go. And I mean, I feel like it was good. Like we didn't lose much. Like Walmark I was excited to have Walmark on the team, but he didn't really do much. Like a lot of other players like prove themselves. And I think it's kind of funny. Yeah. I think it's kind of funny they got traded at the deadline basically to Florida 2 years in a row. And then Lucas Carlson I liked a lot too, but he also is a very similar type of defenseman to the rest of the guys that we have. So it's good to see that they kind of flipped him for somebody same age, but more defensive minded, a little bit bigger. And I think that'll hopefully work out a little bit better. And they didn't play at all on Saturday, right? I was busy yesterday.
I think they're still technically quarantining.
Do they have to?
Because
they're coming from Florida and Florida's kind of a shit show.
I think it's like a small one because Hinostrozo drove from Florida to Chicago to cut the quarantine in half.
Oh, okay.
So I'm not 100% sure what the rules are, but I don't know if it's like a full like week or 2 week thing like Canada, but
no, I doubt it. Like we fucking go to Florida and Florida comes here. I doubt it's gonna be like a hard like.
I think it's just like, okay, you're gonna be around a new group of guys, so
yeah.
I'll check to make sure.
When we get the trade deadline coming up, when this episode comes out, trade deadline day.
Yeah.
I wonder what other trades we're going to make with Florida because apparently that's the only team we're trading with.
Florida, Carolina, Arizona. That's the only number. Those are the only GMs that Bowman has the number for.
Yep. And Florida's in the best place to probably want Janmark.
Yeah. So like we were talking about before, like Janmark has been kind of like, as he's been doing better this season, it's been kind of like we all expected his name was going to get tossed around.
Yep.
Now we're seeing on TSN's was it trade bait portal or whatever they call it,
Trade bait list.
They have Camp up to the 25th most likely player to be traded.
Mm-hmm. Or not most likely to be traded, just like most valuable. Yeah.
And
most sought after.
And what's hilarious is the 13th on that list is Chicago Blackhawks salary cap space.
Yeah.
Our calorie cap space is more
calorie sap.
Salary cap space is more valuable than 12 other players on that list.
Yeah, I mean, it's our most valuable asset on our team right now, apparently.
Who the hell would have thought that the Blackhawks and salary cap like value would be in the same sentence?
I don't know, but we just kind of going ahead, but like we just saw Detroit finagle a 4th round pick out of a Tampa Bay and Columbus deal by also acquiring just cap in the David Savard trade.
Yeah.
So they're like, yeah, we'll hold on to $1 million for you if we get a pick. And it's like, yeah, here's a 4th. And like, thanks. Sounds good. Pleasure doing business with you.
That's the way to do it, man. I mean, that's why I think Stan Bowman needs to be on the phone with Buffalo and being like, hey, let us know what you're thinking about Taylor Hall.
Yeah.
You know, we'll get in on that to help you guys out and make the money work type of thing.
Yeah. I mean, if Buffalo ends up getting a 1st rounder for 50% retained, and then we retain 50% of that and take $2 million. And you don't think a team would take Taylor Hall for $2 fucking million and a few like picks going the other way?
I don't know. Are we getting into like NHL trade talk? Or are you going to talk Janmark a little bit more?
I mean,
what do we want to see?
It's pretty much. I think. What do you think the Hawks could expect from Janmark?
I think a 2nd or a 3rd.
Yeah, I'm hoping if it's a team that's literally like a Tampa Bay style team that you think is going to go pretty deep, I hope it's a 2nd. That's like, let's get a conditional 2nd. Like it could turn into a 1st if they make it to the Stanley Cup Finals or some shit. Like that'd be dope.
I can't see Janmark drawing like a 1st. Even
David Savard just drew a 1st.
Yeah, I know. Fuck.
And I mean,
it's just crazy to think a guy that we signed for $1 million has played his way into a 1st round pick. Like he's signed at 2.25.
Was
Walmart the million?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, David Savard, not even just a 1st round pick, a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th.
Yeah.
Generally, that's what it was.
Yeah.
They did get Lash off in the trade, but it's just like a 1st, a 3rd, and a 4th from Tampa. Tampa doesn't give a shit about their 1st round picks. And like that's kind of worked out for them because like they traded for Barclay Goodrow last year, and that worked out well.
Locked in like 3 to 5 years.
Dude, it doesn't matter. Who fucking cares?
Window's done. But is even okay? It doesn't even matter. But if you're like looking at like a dog shit hockey in 3 to 5 years, and you only get 1 Stanley Cup out of all this,
it's still worth it. Still on, and we're still like super competitive.
Hawks got 3. I'm just saying.
Yeah, that doesn't happen that often. Is it worth it? Yeah, man. Fucking go for it.
3 Stanley Cups? Yeah, fuck yeah, it's worth it.
But yeah, hopefully, Janmark gets I'm hoping for a 2nd, likely a 3rd. Maybe he gets packaged with Camp or Zadorov. Like Zadorov's on the trade bait list too, just because, like we just said, he might go unprotected. So it's kind of like I'd rather have him get traded for something instead of just basically like trading Sod and not getting anything returned 2 years later. And he is an RFA still, so right. It's like there's some extra value right there because you got a little. And that's crazy too, because like Zadorov's been in the league for a long time. Like he's not that old, but he's still an RFA. But he's played like 6 years. Yeah, I think they got like. That's one rule I wish they would look at is lowering that. Like, see, it's like it sucks and it doesn't. Like,
As a fan, no, yeah, keep it where it's at because that means we get to keep these young guys.
Yeah.
But as a player, it's like that sucks. Like essentially, from if say you get in the league at 18, you're under control until you're 26.
Yeah. It's usually a lot of players' majority of their career.
That sucks.
I mean, the teams are investing in these guys, and they don't want to invest in a guy and have him for 4 years, and then all of a sudden they don't want to play there anymore. It's kind of losing assets for no reason.
Right, and that goes in hand in hand though too with the salary cap, because then it's like you have these guys that are building these players up from drafting them and all that, and essentially they're being punished because they can't afford to sign them for how good they've done too.
Yeah.
The salary cap and all that. So it's like it's such a broken system, but whatever.
But yeah,
watch the games. We don't play them. So
Janmark would be. I mean, I think he's number one because clearly they held him out of the game Saturday because they're working on a deal. If they move Camp, I'll be upset because he's really becoming a solid player.
And I can't see getting too much for him though. Like I can see maybe a third or a fourth. Maybe
because I mean he's clearly just like a depth player. Like he's not gonna be a first or a second. If they get a third, I think that's insane. I think that'd be pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see. He's got no goals. But he's just so solid defensively.
I saw Colorado was reaching out about Janmark.
Yeah. Yeah, Colorado's thinking about Janmark, so
Colorado and Tampa are just going all in.
Yeah, why not? Colorado's on fire, so I think they should go all in.
All right, we want to transition to just trades in general that has happened.
Sure. Also, just speaking of Colorado, how about that Niemi 2.0 call?
Yeah.
Gotta love it.
I just love the next day getting the text from you like, oh boy.
Guess what happened? Oh my God. How many goals did Grubauer let up? It was like 7. I don't know. Where is it? Oh, was it just that Wednesday? Oh my God.
It was probably.
Oh, it was 8 goals against. I don't know if it was all against Grubauer though. It was absolutely hilarious that happened. Okay, come on, pull it up. Why is this so slow?
All right, well, you're pulling that up. So as soon as we got off of Zoom on Wednesday.
Okay, I found it. 7 goals on 18 shots.
Yikes.
And then Johansson came in and let up a goal on 1 shot. And that was it. He hit a 0% save percentage.
Well, the Buffalo writer was right about him.
Yeah, and then that kid got his first shutout of the season the next game or some shit. Jesus Christ, that's hilarious. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. So
yeah. So all right, the first big trade happened after we got done recording on Wednesday. The New Jersey Devils traded Kyle Palmieri, Travis Zajac to the Islanders for AJ Greer, Mason was Jobist.
Yeah, I think so.
2021 first round pick and a 2022 conditional 4th round pick. The conditions are the Islanders advance to the 2021 Stanley Cup final. The 4th round pick upgrades to a 3rd in 2022 or 2023. Islanders have the option of which pick they transfer.
This is it's kind of crazy because have you seen the current average age of the Devils right now is under 25. They're the only team in the NHL with the average age under 25.
Jesus.
I think it's their whole forward core, forward group, no one's over 25.
So it makes sense why they're not really winning.
Yeah, but can you imagine having such a young team that's not playing terribly? They're all extremely young. It says right here in this article, it says on NHL.com, it says the longest tenured player on the roster is defenseman David Severson, and he's only 26.
Jesus.
Like, I think, is their oldest player right now
Probably
PK?
PK. Yeah.
PK?
And there's rumors that he's getting moved.
Who's moving? Like, what? I
There
guess
was talks.
if they can get picks, like, why not?
I saw one thing saying that Florida was looking at him, but then they made that trade for Montour.
Oh yeah, they
So
did that.
yeah, so I don't know if that's still on the table or not. I know Rossi was like that. Do not do that. I cannot handle a Yandel PK defense. Like,
Oh my god. Unless it was like 6 years ago.
right. So I mean
I think that was a great trade, especially since the Islanders, I guess they were looking at getting Taylor Hall as well. And New Jersey had then apparently, I was like, hey, we'll give you Zajac as well in this deal. And that's what sweetened the pot enough for Lou Lamoriello to pull the trigger.
Yeah, it was like almost a confirmed deal until New Jersey threw that Zajac in there.
And I mean, that's what the Islanders needed since Anders Lee went down. Yeah. And they needed their left wing scoring forward, and now they got Palmieri, and immediately shaved his beard.
That's such a stupid thing. Like, I hate that he does that.
And
but
then what was Carrick. Connor Carrick, the chirp online, just saying he's surprised Lou let him keep the eyebrows. Oh my god, that was an all-time good one.
Well done, Carrick. Well done. Let's see. After that, we had the Hawks trade. And on Friday, we saw a bunch happen, or a couple happen. The Toronto Maple Leafs acquire Riley Nash from Columbus for a 2022 conditional 7th round pick. The pick upgrades to a 6th pick if Nash appears in 25% of the Leafs 2022-2021 playoff games. So I mean, that's a good little depth add for them.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to be the end of it for them, because they're looking to make some moves. They're not afraid to move prospects or picks.
They are linked to Foligno.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So Minnesota and Toronto?
Yeah, those are the two. Later in the day, Colorado acquired Patrick Nemeth from Detroit for a 4th round pick. Detroit just sitting there picking up 4th round picks like it's nobody's business.
They must know something about the 4th round that we don't.
As we mentioned earlier, Brandon Montour traded to the Florida Panthers from Buffalo for a 2021 3rd round pick, which I think that was a good value pick right there. Yeah,
see, like if Montour, I'm pretty sure he's not that old. He's still like a younger defenseman. If he's only getting a 27. Third, he's 27. If he's only getting a 3rd, that's kind of worries me about, like, Janmark might only be a 3rd as well.
Yeah, but it's hard. I mean, different positions, different player needs.
Yeah. We'll see. I just hope we get something good. That's all I want. I mean, eventually, so it's going to get down to the deadline, because then teams are going to be like, okay, well, we're going to ask for less because they want to just get something, and
yeah.
But yeah, after
5th round for Janmark.
Yeah, like, oh my god, please, not like a Gustafson like trade situation where we got like a 3rd.
That was so badly handled.
Yeah,
should have traded him right away when he hit the value.
Well, yeah. After that, we get Devin Dubnyk on the move again. He's traded to Colorado from San Jose for Greg Pattern and a 5th.
Colorado getting nervous about Miami 2.0.
Yeah, I mean they don't have like a solid backup because Pavel Francouz is still out. I think like it makes sense. They went and traded for that Johansson kid, and it's just like we said, the Buffalo beat writer was like, he's the worst goal I've ever seen. I can't believe they did this. Like, I don't know. Yeah,
So
we got
Colorado's gonna be his 6th team. Why do I felt like he has moved around more? Oh, because he had a couple stints in the minors. That's why.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then we get the big trade with the Lightning Jackets and Red Wings. So it's a cool little breakdown where it was originally just Brian Lashoff for David Savard, like just swapped, and I'm sure it was like 50% retained there on Savard. And then it was the Lightning traded a 4th-round pick to Detroit for David Savard. And then the Lightning traded a 1st and a 3rd in 2022 for Brian Lashoff to Columbus. So Brian Lashoff got them a 1st and a 3rd, and Savard only was worth a 4th.
So seeing people on Twitter like, why stop helping Tampa Bay be good? I finally understand why people hated the Hawks all those years, and like everybody's like, "Oh, surprise, surprise!" GM's helping out Stan Bowman, the Blackhawks, and I'm like, I never understood the hate. I get it now. I totally understand.
Yeah, but here's the thing, though. Like, the salary cap's still a thing, and this time, or when next year starts, in like Kucherov is back, and they have this whole team, and they're not going to be able to keep Savard, and they have to move players because, I mean, they're not losing a lot of cap probably. Like,
So
Tampa's
next
going to
year,
be fucked.
this offseason, they have Blake Coleman, Barclay Goodrow, Ross Colton, David Savard, Cal Foote, and Curtis McElhinney are the only ones coming off.
Well, Marian Gabrick and Anders Nielsen are also going to be off.
But those are also LTR.
Right. It's, yeah, they're going to, I mean, fuck, man. I don't care. They're gonna have to move shit. I feel like they're gonna have to blow some shit up like how the Hawks had to do. So maybe they can get stripped for parts a little bit.
Oh man, Kucherov 9.5. Forgot about that.
Yeah. So
I think Stamkos is going on LTIR until playoffs to make this work.
that's what they're gonna fucking do. I saw like a little joke online where it was like, "Hey Stamkos, how you feeling right now?" He's like, "Oh, I'm feeling pretty good." And then they like, and it's like whoever's their GM like hits him in the fucking knee with a wrench. He's like, "How you feeling now?" He's like, "Oh, I guess I gotta be on LTIR." He's like, "Cool, we need the cap space."
Today's cap hit for Tampa Bay is 99,904,166.
Yeah, this cap space is. I remember the cap is just a. It's not real.
It's a suggestion.
Yeah.
It's
It's like, God damn it. Fucking yeah.
You should stay in this range, but to it.
Other than that, for trades.
So Taylor Hall's still on the board.
Yep, that one's gonna probably go down to the last minute to see if it gets cheaper.
It's gonna be that's gonna hurt Buffalo's return on him. But I'm gonna say it right now. Taylor Hall is the most overrated player. Like, I don't understand why all these teams, and it doesn't like, I don't understand why these teams think they can get so much for him and why they do get so much for him. What has he done besides the MVP season, the Hart year? Nothing.
I mean, like, he's got solid stats. Like, he plays, but he doesn't score anymore. I don't know why. I think he's a great like complementary piece to like whatever core you already have. I think I mentioned that before. It's just like,
let's see, hockey.
Oh, everybody's really high on Taylor Hall because he's the first overall.
Was it 2017 he won his? Yeah, 2017 he won his Hart.
Yeah.
I mean, 93 points that year. Since then, 37, 52, 25, 27, 19.
Yeah, with plenty of injuries, though, too. Right?
Let's see. Yeah, after he only played 33 after his Hart year. 65 games. played in so the 25-27, that was split between New Jersey and Arizona. He had 52 points that year. And then 19. Like, I don't yeah, he's a good player, but he's not like we got to mortgage our future to get this guy. And like definitely does not deserve to get paid the stupid amount of money he gets offered.
I mean, he's got 19 points right now in 37 games with only 2 goals, which is, I don't know. Is it because it's a Buffalo thing?
I don't know. I don't get it. I actually don't get the appeal to him. There is thoughts that Edmonton might be his destination.
Just go back. I wonder what they would end up giving up for him. But I don't care. I don't think the Hawks should ever go for him. I don't think,
like we said, unless it's for that salary cap reason.
Yeah,
we can get a pick out of it. Yeah, that's fine. I don't like him. I don't think he is all that great. I don't think he deserves the praise and like the salary and the figures of coming, all that kind of stuff. I don't get it.
Yeah, like you said, like since that Hart season, I think people see him as more of like a game-breaking kind of player, but like Arizona gave up a lot for him and really didn't hear much about him in Arizona, and like Buffalo signed him, which was like a huge deal. And I mean, like I just said, he's got 19 points in 37 games. That's, I don't know, not really an $8 million player to me either.
Oh.
That's kind of, I mean, Mike Hoffman right now has 1 less game played, makes half as much, and has 21 points but 9 goals. And St. Louis fucking hates Mike Hoffman for some reason because I guess he doesn't show up every game, and he's only 2 years older. And it's just like, I don't know, if I had the choice of left wingers, I would rather just take the cheaper Mike Hoffman.
Right.
But
Hall's only had 30 goals one time in his career.
And that was his fucking
that big year. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Like, we'll see what I can't wait to see what team overpays, but a team that's looking to just get over the edge and really give themselves a really good cup run. If it ends up being Toronto, like you already have all these star players to just add Hall, it would be a great idea. But I mean, that would just be a rental. There's no way that you hold on to him after that.
Oh no.
Because they were saying too, like Hall said he would be interested in signing an extension with a team that acquires him.
But majority of the teams that are looking to acquire him are all guys that our teams are up against the cap, and they're literally just looking for that boost for the playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, if they get him and then he does amazing, like maybe they end up looking at moving somebody else and signing him long term. You never know. We'll see. It's going to be a fun little day let's make the trade deadline fun again, Shit used to go crazy.
Yeah, let's get fucking weird. And I think it will. I really do. I think we're going to see a lot of trades. Like, it might not be big blockbuster, big names and all that, but you're going to see a lot of teams starting to make stuff to get themselves ready for the expansion draft.
Yeah, that's
what's going to be really fucking cool to see, like what these teams are doing.
I can't wait for that.
It's just the tip of the iceberg, because once the offseason starts and Seattle is like officially in play, you're going to start seeing more wheeling, dealing and all that to protect players and all that too. It's going to be, we're in for some fun hockey news, and that's starting tomorrow until like the end of the expansion draft.
Yeah, just let's get the playoffs going. I'm excited. Well, other than the trade news, anything else for the trade stuff?
No, no, I think we pretty much covered it all.
Yeah. Just looking forward to seeing what's going to happen,
Yeah.
So going to more NHL talk, Jack Campbell officially sets a NHL record, to be the only goalie with 11 wins in a row to start a season, which is kind of crazy to me because the season's almost over.
Yeah.
That he's only played 11 games. But I mean, it's awesome for him. If you watched any of like his interviews or anything like that online, he is he seems like probably one of the nicest guys in the NHL. He
Oh,
truly is just like a genuinely awesome, nice guy. And I'm just like, I think I'm a big Jack Campbell fan right now. Like he just, everything that they say, like, hey, like, how does it feel? Like you did this, and he just, it's always like about the team and like how grateful he is to play in Toronto and like how grateful he was to have the time he did in LA. And just like, man, he's so fucking humble. And it's just really cool to see that.
he's 11-0 with a 9.3 save percentage and a 1.88 goals against average with 2 shutouts.
Yeah, not too fucking shabby. I mean, he tied the record this week with Carey Price at 10 games, and then he just broke it yesterday or 2 days ago, a few days ago. Was it yesterday?
Last game was yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. And
or Saturday, whenever listen to this.
Perfect. Yes. Okay, cool. And I mean, it's kind of, it wasn't the greatest. It was a 6-5 victory, you know, but
again, so we posted that clip of us talking about the North Division not being good and all that kind of stuff. And Frank from Hockey Illuminati comments, and all he does is Jack Campbell. And I said, yeah, cool. You've named one good goal in the entire division. Thanks for proving our point. Like,
yeah.
and he goes and lets up 6 or 5 goals. It's like
against Ottawa too.
Yeah. Like, speaking of Ottawa, though, they are good. Like, I think people are sleeping on them. I think they're going to be so damn good in the next like year or two. Like, this team's got a great future. They're fun to watch. Like, they're the only team in the NHL that's not been shut out this year,
which is insane. I mean, I don't know how many shutouts they have, but they it's also, I think one of my favorite things I saw online was just like, oh, like Austin Matthews with another hat trick. And it's like, yeah, good for him. He was fucking playing against Anton Forsberg, who has a sub 900 save percentage. It's like, wow, it must have been real fucking hard for him.
Like, that guy, I feel so bad for him.
Yeah, he's the suitcase.
Does I put this in our group text yesterday. Does Austin Matthews sitting at 31 goals? He's got 15 games left. Does he hit 50?
I mean, like we said, there's no goaltending in this fucking division, so it's completely possible. I mean, I don't think so.
I think he hits, I'm saying 40.
Yeah, he can hit 40. He's great. He's so fucking good.
Yeah.
Dude, Tim Stützle, though.
Did you see his gear he was wearing yesterday?
Like off ice?
No, like on ice. So he was wearing special skates and he had a custom stick for the Sick Kids organization up in Toronto.
Oh no, I didn't see any of that.
It's like, so he uses a jet speed. It's typically black and red, and it was like black gray with like a baby blue on it. So sick. And I love his nameplate on his stick. It's Poppy 34.
That's amazing. God, Austin Matthews is a great player to just pay attention to.
Right.
Gotta love it. All right. So other than that news, we have some we have another potential French or NHL record about to be broken. Patty Marleau. He's creeping up on the all-time games record.
Yeah, that's insane.
Yeah. And he's probably not done playing even after this season. Like, like this guy is looking for a cup. It's been 23 years he's been playing in the show.
I think so.
He's at 1,763 games played right now. That's crazy. I didn't know so looking at his career stats, he's 566 goals, 630 assists. He's just over 1,000 points, like 1,196. He's a career minus 24. Yikes. That's got to suck. Probably some of the down years in San Jose. But man, if he's breaking the record this year, he's like almost never missed a game in some of these years. It's crazy. What's the number? Is it 1765.
Yeah.
Jesus. I wonder what it's going to end up at. Like whenever he chooses to retire. Do you think he breaks 1800?
Oh, man. I want to say he's going to play one more year in Cup
Yeah.
Chase.
Yeah. I could see it
I
being.
can't see him. Oh, man.
I don't know if he would. I don't know. Just because of age, I don't know if he could do it like a thing where he just kind of sits in free agency until like
Somebody needs him.
And yeah, I mean, until you see how the teams are shaking out, and then just signs like a league minimum deal somewhere, or maybe he just signs a.
He's easily getting hit at 1800.
Yeah. So we'll see. That's funny. That's fucking crazy though.
And here, you want to hear something really funnier? Well, not funny, but it's like insane. Phil Kessel passed Steve Larmer for the 5th longest Ironman streak in NHL history with 885 games.
So we got Kessel and Yandel both going.
Marlowe too.
Marlowe's on the Ironman streak too.
894.
Oh my god.
But Phil Kessel hasn't missed a game since November 3rd, 2019. Or that's when the streak started.
2019?
Or 2009, sorry.
I was like, what? Yeah, man. Longevity, it's crazy.
That record is 964 games straight.
I don't know how, like, in a game so physical to not, like, tear or anything, even.
And looking at him, like...
That shit, I don't know. It works out. One thing that I wanted to point out is, like, we saw Lankinen this year breaking the Hawks rookie record for most saves in a shutout. And it's been kind of like rookie goaltenders like him and like Kakkonen were both doing great this season. And Kakkonen also just set a franchise record for the Minnesota Wild. It was most goals given up in a game.
Oh, wow.
Which is pretty great. I mean, we both got rookie goalies setting records. The Minnesota Wild also, that was their franchise record for most goals given up in a game, and their 9-1 loss against the St. Louis Blues.
Jesus.
Absolutely. I wonder if the Blues were a little pissed. I think it may be the last time the Blues had played the Wild. That was the 2-0 game where the Wild only had 11 shots and won 2-zip.
They came back yesterday too. They tied the game with less than like 30 seconds left, the Blues, and then they won it overtime against the Wild.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I felt so dirty because I had St. Louis on 2 parlays. I won $200, but still, fuck. Cheering for the Blues was fucking. I took a long shower after that.
Yeah, I've been giving my buddies like the picks, anytime I picked the Blues early on, they would lose. So I was like, fuck this. I'm never picking the Blues ever again. So I always just pick against them. Like, they're not good. They're sitting in a playoff spot right now, but not good.
I think they're a bubble team. I think they're gonna bust. I don't think they're gonna bust, and I hope they fucking blow it up tomorrow or today.
Let's just say, like, looking at the standings right now. Is there any teams that you say are just completely out of it?
I think the North Division's set.
Yeah, you don't think Calgary's gonna get any? Yeah, I mean, Montreal has 3 games in hand right now, and they're up 6 points. So Calgary is a disappointment this year.
Damn, I didn't realize San Jose was as close as they were.
Yeah,
4 points out. I was not expecting that. I would like to say Arizona's going to make it, and just because I hate St. Louis, but I think St. Louis is probably going to hold on to it. I think LA and Anaheim are done. I think San Jose's done too. They have a game in hand though.
I mean, they could make it interesting. It'll come down to the end there.
Detroit, Columbus.
The Hawks need to put some winning streaks together. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to make it.
I think the East is set too.
Yeah, Philadelphia just is disappointment this year too.
Can't. I mean, the Rangers have been picking it up. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10. But
you think they might be able to make a little push?
They might be able to make a little push. I don't think
they have 16 games left. So
it'll be interesting. I think they make a push. I don't know, because Boston also has 2 games in hand, and they're up 4 points on Philly and 5 on New York.
The Rangers are such a weird team to me right now because they've been blowing teams out or they've been getting blown out.
They're streaky. They're like it's like a weird streaky.
Yeah. Plus, they lost to Buffalo recently too. I was just like, what is happening? They murder Philadelphia like a few times. They killed the Penguins, and then they lose to Buffalo. And I'm just like, what team is showing up on any given night? Yeah. So let's see. They got the Islanders. They got 4 games against the Devils coming up. We have to play Buffalo. They got a lot of games versus Islanders and the Devils and Philly. They're not playing Pittsburgh anymore. They only have 2 more against like Boston. They can make a good run. They just need, like, their toughest team is clearly the Islanders. 2 against Capitals, 2 against Boston to end the season. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe the Rangers can make a little splash.
It'd be fun. Make it really interesting. That's what like we said last episode. I want last game of the season to have implications on everything.
That's the craziest part about this year too, is like you're all playing within the division, so every point fucking matters. Yeah. And like coming down to like this is, you know how like when the season's about to end, you usually start to see a little bit playoff type hockey because of these teams that need to make the playoffs. Like we're going to see that earlier than normal because like these teams are going to be like, hey, we have 15 games left. We're 6 points out. Like we need to get all of these points. It does not matter. Like we can't lose anything. Like if we're playing the teams that we're fighting for spots with, like it's always a 4-point swing no matter which way you're going.
Yeah. It's like that clip you sent with that potato Dustin Brown.
I love that.
Grind it out for points. Like you gotta, like, I mean, you can't give up. You got to keep fighting and all that kind of stuff. And realistically, there are so many, like we just going through real quick, besides the North Division, besides the teams that were in the 7th and 8th place in the division, there is a route to the playoffs. How realistic it is, I don't know. But I mean, realistically, 6 of the 8 teams in the division are still in contention. And that's going to be some exciting hockey for sure.
Yeah. You're going to see a lot of fucking, like we thought it was a lot of anger between teams like already because they're playing each other so much. When teams are fighting for these playoff spots now, like even harder, you're going to see a lot of shit going down probably. Oh, yeah. It's going to be exciting.
All right. So you got anything else?
I think that's it.
All right. So that was episode 130. What do you want to call it, bud?
Trade deadline, baby.
All right. And as always, make sure to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, rate, review, subscribe to YouTube, follow us on social media, WCB Podcast. To check out the Hockey Podcast Network, go to DraftKings, code THPN. And as always, we will see you on the next one.
All right. See you later, boys. Love you. Bye.